Team India is already in Russia, Dubai, UAE, Japan, and very soon the remaining delegation will travel to other parts of the world to echo one message and one message alone.
We need to speak up with clarity and conviction for our country, for our response, and to give the world the message that we will not be silenced by terrorism. And we don't want the world to look away either. We don't want indifference to triumph over the truth.
But what happened? Why India had to assemble an all-party delegation? Let's rewind the clock to understand. Let me start today's video with a quote. The goal of propaganda is not to convince, but to overwhelm, to drown the truth in a flood of competitive narratives. The government of India has announced that all party delegations will be dispatched to key partner countries later this month. The primary objective is to present India's unified stance on recent events, specifically its zero-tolerance approach to terrorism following the Pahalgam terror attack and subsequent Operation Sindoor targeting cross-border terror infrastructure. The move is a diplomatic outreach to highlight Pakistan's role in cross-border terrorism and to build international consensus against it. The delegations aim to showcase India's national consensus and resolute approach to combating terrorism in all its forms. At the peak of Operation Sindoor, the world regrettably has lapped up Pakistan's fabricated narrative like a hotcake, exposing a troubling ambivalence in global perceptions of this conflict. The global response to the India-Pakistan tensions reveals a disconcerting reality. Much of the world, be it Western Europe, the American continent, or East Asia, remains mired in confusion. On the other hand, Pakistan, a state notorious for harboring globally designated terrorists, from Osama bin Laden to the likes of Hafiz Saeed. Logic dictates that Pakistan should be at a profound disadvantage in the information war, its credibility eroded by its well-documented duplicity. Yet, Western media outlets, whether the New York Times, CNN, or others, have amplified Pakistan's narrative, often without demanding proof or rigorous evidence. We all know why, because they are all of Pakistani origin, and you can check the list of the reporters. These outlets, also aided by some internal detractors and termites within India or Indian origin people who peddled unverified claims, publish articles that gain traction through sheer reach and popularity, as did by France 24, where the article says Chinese weapons pass combat test in India-Pakistan clash with flying colors based on trust me bro fact and evidence. For a moment, I thought that France 24 is a bigger CCP loyalist than the Chinese outlets. The first to lie strategy deployed by Pakistan before, after, and between the conflict, inflicting grievous harm on India's narrative. In this unchecked proliferation of falsehoods, truth becomes the first casualty. To counter that, Prime Minister Modi had to go to the airbase where Pakistan military claimed to have caused greater damage. But the job is not done yet. It is against backdrop of all the chaos, India's resolute strategy emerges, spearheaded by a carefully selected cadre of eloquent and influential parliamentarians. To counter this orchestrated assault, PM Modi has assembled Team India, a coalition of astute and capable leaders drawn from across the political spectrum, united by a singular purpose: to present India's unvarnished truth to the world. Leading this charge is Shashi Tharoor, Congress MP and former External Affairs Minister, whose eloquence and diplomatic acumen makes him an ideal captain. In a recent post on X, Tharoor articulated the mission with characteristic clarity, announcing his role in leading an all-party delegation to 5 key global capitals to advocate India's perspective on recent events. Alongside him is Mr. Owaisi, the fiery MP from Hyderabad. This team will embark on a 10-day mission starting May 22, 2025 to many nations, accompanied by representatives from the Ministry of External Affairs. The delegation's mandate is monumental. They will confront the blatant falsehoods propagated by Pakistan, which, in collusion with China, has unleashed a torrent of disinformation. Chinese state media such as Global Times and other international outlets under Beijing's influence have unabashedly championed Pakistan's narrative, lending it an undeserved veneer of legitimacy. Turkish media too has joined this axis, amplifying Pakistan's claims and further muddying the waters. Against this formidable coalition of deceit, Team India will deploy facts, evidence, and moral clarity to expose Pakistan's duplicity and reaffirm India's commitment to combating terrorism. Their visit to Western Europe and other key regions will not only bolster India's democratic and secular credentials, but also challenge the global apathy that allows Pakistan's lies to fester. The significance of this initiative cannot be overstated. Pakistan's information warfare, though built on a foundation of lies, has gained traction due to the complicity of Western media and the silence of global powers. Adding to that are India's internal detractors who amplify unverified claims, exacerbate this challenge, undermining the nation's narrative from within. Yet, Team India represents a bold counter-offensive by including opposition stalwarts like Tharoor and Owaisi. The government signals its commitment to unity and inclusivity. This all-party delegation, as reported by The Hindu, is a historic first for the Modi government, aimed at presenting a cohesive and compelling case against terrorism on the global stage. Following India's announcement on May 17, 2025, to send multi-party delegations to key global capitals to expose Pakistan's alleged terror links after Operation Sindoor, Pakistan responded by forming its own diplomatic delegation, led by Pakistan People's Party Chairman Bilawal Bhutto Zardari. The delegation aims to counter India's narrative and promote a peace agenda on the global stage. Well, that's a joke to start with. The delegation includes high-profile figures such as Energy Minister Dr. Musaddiq Malik, Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz leader Khurram Dastagir Khan, former Foreign Minister Hina Rabbani Khar, and many more to follow. In this narrative warfare, India must admit a hard truth. Pakistan, with Western world and China's backing, has wielded disinformation with audacious efficiency. But Team India is poised to turn the tide. Tharoor's diplomatic finesse and Owaisi's unapologetic candor will pierce through the fog of confusion, compelling the world to confront an inescapable question. Will they stand with the world's largest democracy or a state synonymous with terror? The answer, through the efforts of this delegation, will be rendered undeniable. We will continue to update you the development. Until next time, Namaskaram.